Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates.
And my name is Taylor Green, and I'm back.
Welcome back, Mr. Taylor Green. I haven't seen you for ages.
Gosh. Yeah, sorry it's been a little while, guys. We couldn't get together.
No.
And then I was ill.
Yep.
And then we were off for a week.
Yep.
So I was, yes,
Oh,
we're back.
we
should
are.
be back to normal now.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So this is your patient here, isn't it? And I've had a quick look at this one. This was tough.
This was a beast. So it's a pretty long one for you to for the first one back. It's quite a young chap actually, in his early 20s, I believe this gent was. The kind of backstory here. The patient, when he was around 18 or 19, I think, went for wax removal.
Yeah.
The one side was completed. The one side was cleared. This was a sort of a kind of a failed attempt.
Right.
They did recommend use of oil, going back for another appointment, but that never really happened, and that was 5 years previously. So this has been stuck in here for, well, at least 5 years, and I can imagine it's been there for longer as well.
So, I mean, when earwax is newly formed, it's really, really soft, but as it ages, it becomes much, much harder, doesn't it? And that's perfectly formed to the shape of the ear canal, so that is just, there's no room at all, there's no wiggle room in there whatsoever, is it?
This, as soon as I started this one, I thought, oh, here we go, this is going to be, we're going to be here a while. The microsuction is not doing anything here at all, so this is going to have to be a curettage removal. Now, the problem, which Rhys just mentioned, the problem we've got here is this wax is so perfectly formed to the ear canal, there's just no room for us to actually squeeze into any little gaps. So I'm going to have to very carefully here now try to create some gaps, so we can try and get a little bit of leverage and, you know, try and get this to start moving. So you can see it's kind of partly moving, but it's so deep in the ear canal. I think what's happening here, where we've got the recess, there's potentially a bit of wax that's almost like clawing itself inside and just kind of holding on, and is not pulling forwards.
I mean, the difficulty when we use curettage is we've got to be able, nearly all the tools we use, apart from the forceps, I'd probably say, you've got to get behind that plug of new to really make those tools effective. And the difficulty is here, when we lift from the bottom, it's just, we've got no room at the top. When we try and pull down from the top, we've got no room at the bottom. So you can't get behind it with enough leverage to be able to pull that forwards.
And these rosin inserters, I know we've said it a few times, these rosin inserters we've had on this batch seem to be a lot bigger than the previous ones.
They do, yeah.
They're a little bit more awkward to position.
Yeah, our suppliers changed their tools even, sorry. And we just can't get a hold of the old ones. That's dry as a bone, isn't it?
You can see how solid this is. I'm trying to just, well, as I said, create a little gap. But you can almost see it, occasionally you'll see me just kind of flick really quickly off it where it's so solid that it's like a stone. And fair play, the patient was an absolute trooper. Literally sat through it all, no flinching, no jumping, you know, literally just sat through it all.
Yeah, the thing is, only half the battle is what we do, isn't it? It's what the patient can tolerate sometimes. You know, we talk about this particular portion of the ear canal being really sensitive, and you know, any pressure on that canal wall, and it can feel really uncomfortable for the patient. So,
now I know I've switched back. I know I said at the start this microsuction wasn't doing much, but because I popped some olive oil in here and there's a little bit of movement, my idea here was if I can just get a little grip on the front of this wax, pop some oil in, and just give that wax a bit of a wiggle. I was just kind of hoping that oil was just going to start seeping underneath and around this plug, just to, well, almost kind of act like lubrication, really, just to slide it out. But
the difficulty when you've got a very, very hard, really hard wax plug like this as well, isn't it? When you put the suction tube on it, it can't get a really good grip. Now, if the wax is slightly softer, the suction tube sort of almost beds into the wax a little bit, and then you get a really good suction grip. With this, it's just hanging around the surface, and the
rubbing across the surface.
It's not even crumbly, is it?
It's not. It really isn't.
That is solid as a rock. I mean, if you for any reason you couldn't, I mean, obviously you're trying to get around this plug, but
Yeah.
if, say, for argument's sake, this patient, you couldn't get it out on the first visit,
Yeah.
I mean, what would you advise that patient to do then before you come in for a follow-up?
I mean, this, we don't usually recommend them, but I think what I honestly did think at some point this was gonna be a follow-up. I thought this was gonna be a second appointment, just because of how hard it was. But olive oil is not gonna touch this at all. So I think what I would have normally recommended in this case is a few days worth of like sodium bicarbonate just to try and break it down a little bit. Water-based drop, which is kind of will kind of also fizz and bubble when it pops in, just to try to break it up a little bit.
So it just kind of the bicarb works a bit like the peroxide. It kind of, for want of a better word, it sort of melts the fats that bind the wax together. So you tend to get these really, really hard and tough, really hardened up plugs. You can put this drop on it; it'll just kind of fizz and bubble through the surface, just breaking that down a little bit.
Yeah. This is a new tool we're actually using here, and I can't remember the name of it.
Oh God, it's gone. I will remember. It'll come to me now in a minute. It'll come to me in a minute. But
this is a metal tool, and you can see it's a bit more rounded on the.
No, I almost had it. Go on, carry on. It'll come to me now. It'll come to me. I'm going to grab a cup of tea.
I kind of opted for this one because the other curettage that we use is like a almost like kind of a flexible, a semi-flexible sort of plastic material.
Yeah.
And the metal one's obviously is really rigid, really, really stiff. And I thought, if I could just get this underneath, I may actually be able to turn that into the possibly softer material that's a little bit further in. And it's just not doing anything at all here. I'm going from the bottom because I that's where the most movement is. I can't get any gaps at all above this.
It's just chipping away though, isn't it? It always reminds me, it's probably a bit before. Do you remember Terminator 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of liquid Terminator arm. It always reminds me of that tool. It's a bit of a strange one. It's a bit of a difficult one to get into this sort of wax. It's just not, like we were pushing up underneath it then, it was just crumbling a little bit soft. You weren't getting that kind of, you need to get into that wax, bed in there to be able to pull that out. And
again, apologies if the camera's a little bit shaky, guys. This is the last appointment of the day as well, so I'm like 8 hours in wax removal here.
Oh no.
Arms are a little bit achy at this point. Literally trying everything here. I didn't want to stop. No. I knew there was a bit of movement, and I knew at some point there was going to be a breakthrough.
You can see with our Jobs and Horn, it's just not that gap there at all, is it?
I don't know why I even bothered with the Jobs and Horn, to be completely honest. I just wanted to see if I could kind of slip it just over the top.
Yeah, sometimes, sorry guys, I'm not to drink tea because I'm still not feeling very well, so I'm not just keeping my voice going. But basically, it's sometimes with the Jobs and Horn though, you might just get a little bit of a ridge on the surface, so you can just exploit, can you just get over the top of it. And the thing is with the Rosen insert, it's a great little tool because it's thin. But if you've got a ridge there, it's just going to put pressure at a very, very small point, and that pressure is going to pull straight through the ridge. But with the Jobs and Horn, we've done a little bit wider, sometimes you can grip it, can't you?
And I think this was a point I was
follow up.
I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm really, really struggling here.
Oh, is that penetrating into that wax?
That's what I thought it was doing.
Oh no. It's like a piece of concrete. It's just not budging at all. Just not budging at all. Guys, don't forget, if you do enjoy the videos, you can always like, heart, share, follow, and subscribe for us. And if you do, guys, if you can like the video, it just means that the algorithm in whatever platform you're watching this on pushes out to more people. So that would be absolutely fantastic. We'd love to get more subscribers on the channel. So if you could do that for me, that would be absolutely fab. It really helps the channel out for us. Thank you very much. And guys, if you do have problems with your ears, whether that be wax, whether it be hearing problems, anything ear related, check out the link tree in the description below. There is going to be, at the moment, you've got to phone us to book an appointment. Coming very, very soon is a new website, which means you can actually reserve your appointments online. Because I know I had a lady in the comments on Wednesday saying they were struggling to get through, because we're that busy at the moment, they're struggling to get through on the phone. So keep trying, guys. If you just leave us a message, we'll get back to you and they will book your appointment for you. But it will mean that you'll be able to book that online then. So coming soon. we'll let you know.
The girls are really good on reception, to be fair. Leave a message.
Yeah.
They'll pick it up.
They're fab. So,
I think we're slowly getting somewhere.
well, you're
Doesn't
getting
look like it.
that kind of wiggly walk
Yeah.
down the ear canal now, aren't we? And that's what you want to get, is you want to see. Because the thing is, if you can move it from that section,
Yeah.
you're going to create that little bit of a gap there. I need to get behind.
Now this is the other end of that
Terminator tool.
Terminator tool that we were using. So it's basically a Jobs and Home, but it's like flat. It's not really doing anything though. So we got the St. Bart's hook in, I think. Oh no, sorry, that's not the St. Bart's hook. This is the other end of the tool again.
I think that's St. Bart's, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, that's St. Bart's.
That's St. Bart's.
That's St. Bart's.
Oh, I'm all over the shop here.
That's all right.
I'm rusty. It's been a while. It's been a while. The tools look like.
It's ooh, that's a nice bit of purchase there. That looked good. That looked promising.
Yeah. No, I did say to the patient at this point, let me know if there's any discomfort, pain. But I said there's going to be a little bit of pressure here. And you can see I'm almost having to roll this forwards, but kind of from the bottom. It's the only way I think I'm really going to be able to get this out.
Like the opposite of the Indiana Jones role.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anti-indie.
Anti-indie.
This is why we didn't do voiceovers together very often.
Come on. Here it comes. Here it comes. There it is.
That's looking.
You could kind of see where that was wedged down. And
goodness me.
Fair play to the patient. Absolute trooper. That I needed to put some pressure on that to actually get that to start rolling forwards. And I honestly thought there was going to be a little bit of discomfort with that, but the patient said they were absolutely fine. So
has that got wedged again now, though?
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you. Wouldn't surprise me.
My goodness me. Yeah, because the thing is now, if you pull down from the top, you run the risk of just slotting that back into the space you've just pulled out of, haven't you?
Yeah, and I didn't want to. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Woof.
Oh, thank you. Look at that. Look at the keratin behind it as well.
The relief from both of us actually when they started popping out. Patient, obviously has been blocked up with this for, well, like I said, well over 5 years. And as soon as this came out, they just obviously couldn't believe the difference in sound quality. It's like actually here again. And my back was cheering as well.
I bet, yes, and shoulders, arms, everything, I think was it off this one. So we managed to roll it there. Look, we got it. You got it out on this one. You've done a lot of work on this one.
I'm not going to be able to pick this up with the curettage. It's so hard. I don't think anyway. Do I grab it with a suction?
I think you probably have to. I think with this, I would say, looking at that. Jeez, that is. I mean, it doesn't look like a huge plug, but look, you can see where it was really wedged in there.
Yeah, and obviously it doesn't look healthy, but I don't think it's an infection. No. I just think that's purely where that's been wedged in there, and we've been playing around with it for a little while. So I've told the patient to keep an eye on things. If there's any discomfort, any after effects. Let the GP know. But I think that would obviously calm down after.
Yeah, I think it's what you tend to find is when you put a little bit of pressure sometimes on the canal walls, especially if you've got a really hard plug like that, the blood vessels will just come to the surface, and then give it an hour, you look in there again, and it's going to look pretty much back to normal again. Then it's going to settle down pretty quickly.
That was a battle.
It was 1 centimetre. I don't know what the inch is. Got it. Well, I can look at it from the other side, just under half an inch. I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, look at that.
This was in our Cardiff clinic. We've only got one ruler in Cardiff.
Yeah.
That's why I know it's in Cardiff.
So, guys, thank you again for watching our video today. Please, if you don't mind, sharing, heart, follow, and subscribing for us. That would be absolutely fantastic. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another. And myself, lovely Mr. Taylor Green. We'll see you again real soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.